Hello everyone and welcome back. This is episode number 11 of our Football Manager 2017 experiment, Newport County Russian Takeover. Thank you all for keeping up with it so far, getting a lot of good feedback on this. As you can see, this is the history of Newport County in League One. They just completed one season, finished 12th, and with the transfer embargo I think that was a pretty good finish, to be honest with you. Thought without being able to strengthen the squad from their League 2 promotion team, which scraped through by the playoffs as well. I had a bad feeling they were in for a bit of a rough season, but as far as I'm aware, the transfer embargo is now up. So yeah, as you can see, a bit of a history of Newport County back from when they first got promoted into League One in 1980. That was then Division 3. As you can see, they finished 4th the 1 year, nearly got promoted. So this is the highest level that they've been at for quite some time, as you can see. So are they up for promotion this coming season? If you look at the profile, finances are rich, and it doesn't mention anything about a transfer embargo. So I'd imagine they may have done some business. Let's have a little look. And the answer to that is yes, they have done some business. They brought 4 players in. Harry Wilson, who's the Welsh winger, the up-and-comer through the Liverpool youth system, has signed from Barnsley. They've signed Jed Steer from Villa, and I know he's a name that's been bandied about a bit, and a 28-year-old pardon me, a 28-year-old goalkeeper. That's a pretty decent fee, unless Villa were trying to just get a shot of him. And I don't think I've ever heard of this team before. From the Belgian League, Belgian Pro League B, Jonathan Boatu is a centre-back. A decent-looking centre-back at that as well. From Angola, aged 27. And then there's Mark Reynolds. So they're looking to strengthen the defence. Mark Reynolds, formerly of Aberdeen, a starter for Aberdeen for many years, by the looks of it. Ex-Sheffield Wednesday and ex-Motherwell as well. Looking to bring a bit of, experience into that defence. Let's see, they had the top scorer from the division last year. So maybe the defence is the area which manager Mike Newell is looking to strengthen. I had to think then, because they've gone through a few managers already. Mickey Demetriou, Tom Owen Evans, Ben Tozer, Richard O'Donnell and Stephen Gleeson are the players that they've let go of. But as you climb, you're going to lose some of your players. You've got to keep adding that quality to keep the climb going. Spent 1.7 million so far. You don't want to push past that boundary. That's going to enforce another transfer embargo. But so far, looking at it, the signings they made, looking like they're going to be pushing for the promotion this year, so I've got a feeling this is going to be an interesting season. So, without further ado, I'll take us to the end of the transfer window and see who they bring in and see how they start life in League One for their second season. I'll see you there. Okay then everybody, it's the 2nd of September, and as you can see, they have started absolutely awfully. 5 games in, 0 wins, 3 draws and 2 losses. -3 on the goal difference, so yeah, it's not looking great so far. Let's have a little look to see if they brought any more players in. They did. So they were the first 4, then a further 6 have come in. So Rob Hall, who's an attacking left-sided midfielder. Let's have a quick look at his history. He's ex-Sheffield United, and he's worth 5.5 million. So a player who's worth that is coming in on a free. Then reputation wise, they're doing an awful lot right. Daniel Marshall looks like a regen. I think he may be a regen or someone of that sort. He's played for Cardiff on loan, but he was predominantly Man City and has been released and has signed for the county. Now Daniel Marshall, no, we just looked at him, sorry. Tyler Reid, now he's someone who I recognise. Tyler Reid, ex-Man United and Swansea. We had him on loan from Swansea, that's where I recognise him. We've had him on loan a couple of times as it goes. So he's actually Newport County's player now. So Jack Payne from Huddersfield. Tyler Blackett, now he's the ex-Man United defender, I know. Yep. Spent time at Birmingham, Blackpool and Celtic in the past and some other teams. And then whoever this is, Robert Swaby, they've spent 3.6 million. I hope that they're not, well, they've made 2.2 million because they've sold a few players there. Ashley Fletcher, that's the striker, that's their star striker, and they've let him go for 325k. I don't know what they're thinking there. I mean, Tyler Denton was a good player as well. He's gone. So they've made 2 million, they've spent 3.6. I just hope that the replacements they brought in, they brought Robert Swaby. Now he's got to be the replacement for Fletcher. And looking at it, he's a regen from who started off at Oxford and then somehow was at Portsmouth, then signed for QPR for 170k, spent some time in Wales on loan at TNS and time at Bury in League One, so I don't know about this. I got a bad feeling that the business being done by Mike Newell isn't going to be enough. But what do I know? It's only 5 games in. Anybody can have a bad start and then end up finding themselves in a good position later on in the season. We'll see if they can turn it round. We'll take you to the 30th of November and we'll see where they are at that point. We'll see you there. Okay, so here we are, we're on the 30th of November, and as you can see, County have flown back up the league, up into 10th spot. With a game in hand, that could take them up to 8th, leaving them 2 points away from the playoffs. So there's an outside chance of a playoff finish for them now. So obviously there's not going to be any more signings because we've already passed the transfer window. The only alarming thing is they've only won 6 of 19 games. They've drawn 9 and lost 4. So they only lost another 2 games. Considering how good Exeter and Bolton are doing, away to both of them, yeah, that's understandable. Drawing 9 games is a bit of a... it's a bit alarming, but only winning 6 and 3 of them were just 1-0. That game in hand they're going to need to win. Let's have a little look at some player stats, shall we? So, top scorer is Tom Fenton of Scunthorpe. Newport without, can't think of his name, the guy that they sold. Without him, they're not in the top of the goal scoring charts anymore, but they are utilising Joe Mason, who's come back with a 7-goal return, which it isn't the worst, but you know, you at least want them to be, if they're going to be promotion candidates, you want them to have a striker that's going to be on at least 10 goals by now. So assists, they've got no one heading the assists table at all. No one even close, except Joe Mason is all the way at the bottom there with 4. Let's have a little look. Goalkeepers, clean sheets. Jed Steer, the new keeper who they just bought, kept 5 clean sheets. It's not too bad, but out of 19 games, you'd want at least about 7 or 8 by then, if you are looking for promotion. So as we've always touched on, if you've got that kind of money, you need to bring in not just bit part players that are going to just chip in here and there. You want players that are going to be heading these charts, because you look like Bolton are doing well and they got the most clean sheets. You go back to these attacking players and you've got like Scunthorpe have got the top scorer in the league. You know, Bolton are up there with someone, Charlton's up there with someone. So the teams who are doing well, even Exeter are up there with someone. The teams who are doing well have got players that are scoring goals, you know, getting the most assists. You need these standout individuals to take the team to the next level, because as much as putting a good team together is important, that extra quality wins you games. So we'll be leaving this episode with County in 10th. Mike Newell is still manager for now. These Russian guys, they do like to chop and change. This is the 4th manager we've had so far. Obviously they showed how ruthless they can be by giving the chop to Michael Flynn during season 1. I think it was during season 1 anyway. No, it may have been during season 2, but here's one of the important things I always like to touch on. What are Mike Newell's tactics right now? Right, so he's playing a staggered 4-4-2. And looking at the team that they put out in the last game, that's a decent team. You look at that midfield, and that is a bloody good midfield. That's a bloody good defence. So they do have a bloody good team there. So Ashley Fletcher was the striker that I was thinking of. He was top scorer in League One last season, and they sold him for peanuts and spent nearly $1 million extra to buy a bit part player from the team that they sold their star striker to. I think that's pretty poor business, and to be honest with you, I think that's what's going to cost them. If they'd have kept hold of Fletcher, they could have been in a playoff spot by now. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, we're going to leave it there then, guys. Not the greatest of starts that we were looking for. Pushed on and got themselves back up into a contentious position. It's just now we're going to be taking you, starting the next episode at the end of the January transfer window, to see how they've progressed and to see if they've brought any further players in. So until that time, that'll be all for now. Thanks all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the series. Keep on with it. There's a lot more to come from this one. So thank you very much again, and until next time, it's cheerio for now.